Hello everyone, Prince here. Have you solved any engineering problems recently? Well, it is frozen outside, so we are going to test out the battery temperature change of my DJI Mavic Pro. Let's go! Okay, I have set up the camera on the tripod. It's the first time I set my camera like this on the tripod, and well, especially when I'm outside facing a big lake like this, the camera looks really small on the tripod. I wish the sun didn't blow out. The wind muffler is on it. Let me prepare my drone ready. Okay, I'm prepared. I need to wear my gloves because it's frozen cold outside here. I don't know whether I can touch my screen successfully. Here you can see I have one small touchpad on my index finger. If I cannot touch my screen, well, I will end up with a crash drone there. Battery temperature 22.8 degrees. Battery temperature 21.2 degrees. Battery temperature 21 degrees Celsius. I need to bring it back, otherwise it will be too cold. I saw the screen start to glitch. Battery temperature 21.5 degrees. It's increasing again. Haha. Looks like my phone has died. I tried to turn it on. It won't be on. Well, the cold temperature didn't kill my drone. It somehow killed my phone. Luckily, I have already landed my drone, so it will be safe on the ground. Well, even if I was flying but my phone disconnected, it's fine because my remote controller will still be connected. Yeah, so you see my phone's battery is not very... Okay, this is embarrassing. I think you probably know what happened. Well, I'm showing off saying my phone died because of the cold weather. My camera said she wants to go to a warm climate. Yeah, so I bring everything back. We are in Canada, so if outside is like -7, indoor probably is 25 degrees Celsius. So I do believe lots of the problems of these digital electronics which are designed for indoor or say room temperature use are not designed for extremely cold weather. As you know, iPhones limit their operation temperature above 0, so I have several iPhone shutdowns when I was driving outside in the mid of Saskatchewan. First, let's talk about my phone. I tried to boot it several times. When I get home, it simply won't boot. What happened to it is when I feel it, it just feels like a block of ice. Yes, this phone is made of titanium and ceramic, so I do believe it will be quite cold. That's what happened to it. Yes, I just put it on the table. I didn't put a thermal blanket on it or held it close to my body. But it still means the phone has a very poorly managed battery system in it. Well, the camera is another story. I only brought one battery out. You see, I have two and I label them like this. So I have battery number 1 and battery number 2. So battery number 1 is the one I brought out, and battery number 2 is the one I keep it at home. So at that moment I think it will be fine since I'm just near my house, which is just 50 meters away from the lake. But as you can see, my estimation is totally wrong. I think two reasons might kill this battery. The first one is because when I get out, this battery is not fully charged at all. It's probably around 60%. So when the cold wind breathing out, the temperature plummets, cause a voltage drop, and the BMS or battery management system, which manage all the critical status of the battery, eventually killed it, and it said it's going to sleep. When I get home, I pull out this battery and let it warm up. I didn't want to directly put it on a charger because when the battery is cold, it's actually not very good to charge it directly. The horrible result is, no matter how warm it is, actually I warm it up all the way until it's room temperature. When I plug it back into the camera, it won't start. The camera won't start. So I start to get worried, is it a problem of this battery or it's a problem of the camera itself? That's the moment I pull out the second battery and I plug it into my camera. I want to see whether the camera can start up. Yes, as you can see, the camera successfully started. So I know it's not the problem of my camera, it's the problem of the battery. However, no matter how warm it is, the camera simply won't start on battery number 1. So what I tried is I put this one back onto the charger. And I only charge it for like 15-20 seconds. After that, when I plug it back into the battery compartment of my camera, the camera starts successfully. So it looks like a charge on it actually wakes it up. Yes, some of the batteries BMS system, they act like this. If the temperature is too low, they go into a sleep and they won't wake up. You need to charge it in order to wake the BMS up. And once the BMS wakes up, it checks all the critical status. If all things are good, it will go back to alive. Well, my John is a totally different story. The John's battery is actually quite good. Yes, I think DJI definitely did a very, very good job on managing the battery system here. So DJI's battery have a strange function. So if you charge it to 100% and you leave it there for a very long time, lithium-ion batteries do not want to be stayed at 100%. So it will slowly discharge after a certain set time limit, for example 3 days, 5 days or 10 days. So the battery will slowly discharge on its own, which if you pull it out, you will feel the battery is actually a little bit warm. I think the same heating elements or the same resistors, what they do is when the temperature of the battery goes down too low, like today it's flying outside and because of the wind breezing and the cold temperature outside, the battery loses its temperature very, very fast, and under a certain threshold, like 21 degrees Celsius in this case, it starts to warm itself up, because you don't want your drone's battery to die all in a sudden, and which lead to an air crash, right? The second reason probably is because the battery itself will have a natural tendency to warm itself up during excessive discharge because of a high current flow. This can be observed in summer when the battery's temperature is around 27 degrees Celsius, and when flying it keeps warming itself up. Now, based on this, we can take a look at the battery management system. Actually, from phones to cameras to drones to electric vehicles, they all have a battery thermal management system. And obviously, you know, the thermal management system of a commercial vehicle need to be more complex and more redundant than a cell phone. Your cell phone, you died. Okay, no one cares about your data. No one cares about your data and no one cares about your selfie. But for a car, if the battery suddenly died and you lose all the controls on it, I would assume it's quite hilarious. So it boils down to two types of battery thermal management system. The first type is passively managed, like this, and in fact the Nissan Leaf electric car, which the battery is passively managed. So you have no way to cool down or heat up the battery unless using the nature ambient climate. This gives you less control, but it reduces the size and weight of the whole battery pack. The other type of thermal management is actively managed, like this one, which have a heating element inside, I think. Or electric cars, which most of them have the liquid cooling or heating system, so they can use a heating element inside, warm up the fluid in the reservoir, and run the fluid across the whole battery pack to warm it up. They have some kind of heat scavenging system, so what they do is they can move that heat from the motor while you are driving, because motor have certain inefficiency, it will generate heat. So you remove that heat from the motor and reroute that heat into the battery pack to warm up the battery pack. So the temperature of the battery pack can increase more rapidly than just using a small heating element. That's a part of talk about the lithium-ion batteries thermal management. It's the first time I face this. My phone and my camera both died because of excessive winter temperature. Yes, as I said in the title, it looks like when I test my DJI Jones battery. It's great. I want to test this out. It gets survived and it killed everything else. So there are several recommendations about batteries management which you can do by yourself. For small devices like phones, like these batteries, what you want to do is you want to get them close to your body when you get out. So the lithium-ion batteries are actually quite safe. Don't worry about them explode. They won't explode unintentionally unless they have a very, very poor design. The second thing is you don't want them to stay cold for too long. If they have stayed cold for too long, like for example, if you are using your camera and you keep it outside for a very long time, you probably have multiple batteries. Switch the batteries more often than in summer. Lastly, when you get out during winter days and you want to have good battery to use, charge them up. Just charge them up to a higher state of charge, probably 10% more than when you do in summer. For example, for electric cars, you might charge it to 80% during the summertime. So in winter, charge it up to probably 90% or 95% when you go out. For these ones, you can simply charge them to 100% and you're good to go. That's a talk I want to give about the lithium-ion batteries. It's very interesting to discuss about this because many people don't understand how lithium-ion batteries work and how to protect them. I wish you liked this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, may the engineering mind be with you. Looks like Sony cameras tends to go hot more. So I think Canon is more man than Sony because men never get hot.